get like David Tennant and like Karen Gillan to tweet along with them as well. Like it wasn't just the community; it was people who were involved in the making or starred in it as well.
Yeah, and that was really exciting. Just everyone being involved, and it made the pandemic feel less intimidating, and we could all get through it together.
It was literally just a break from it, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think Doctor Who became a break for me as well. Yeah.
Are you into any of the other media, or are you just into the TV show? Like, do you listen to Big Finish? Do you read the comics, read the books, play any of the video games?
This is another thing. I'm a fake fan because I have never listened to any of the audiobooks. Or I played the video. There was a video game that you could download on your laptop, PC, whatever. Back in it was like Matt Smith and Amy. I don't know what game it was, but I played it non-stop when I was.
Adventure games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played that when I was like 11 or 12. But apart from that, I'm like fake fan.
No, it's okay. Me and Toby are much the same. We haven't listened to any Big Finish, have we? I read a couple of the comics back when 13's run first started, because I was like, yeah, I'm going to get really into this. I'm going to buy it every single week. And then it ended up costing me an arm and a leg. So I stopped that. And then I haven't even seen Classic Who. So I'm a fake fan too.
Yeah. It's just I just find it embarrassing. I just don't even know if I'd have the time. I mean, I probably had time during the lockdown, but now I just wouldn't. But I think for me, having although to be fair, I found a way to watch the Sarah Jane Adventures, so I'm just going to binge that.
Nice.
In a legal way, by the way, not illegal. It's a very legal way. So you've got Doctor Who, Sarah Jane Adventures, and Torchwood, and for me that is enough. But I do feel bad for not, listening to audios, but I go so in depth in the TV show alone. I can't.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to catch up on. So as a new Who fan, what Doctor Who moment makes you smile no matter how many times you see or hear it?
Oh my god. Damn. What moment makes me smile? I think I get really excited when the first thing that's come to my head is when Captain Jack at the end of the 3-parter in series 3 when he admits that he was called the face of Bo.
Oh yeah,
I love that.
And the Doctor and Martha look at each other like, what? Nah, it can't be.
Their faces are priceless. I know she would cry. It's just so funny. Because their face is the exact same face that the audience is making, and everyone just relates at the same moment. It just made me laugh so much. I think it would have to be that. What's your one?
For me, it's when in the Girl in the Fireplace, the Doctor comes in drunk with his tie around his head. It makes me laugh every time. Oh, and when he has the argument with the horse. Oh, it's one of my favourite episodes. It's so good.
I really like the episode Listen, when Clara comes home from the date and it's all gone to shit, and the Doctor's just hidden in the bedroom. She's like, "What the hell are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I thought I'd hide in the bedroom in case you brought your date home." I was like, for God's sake, he's so naive. I love him.
Evie, do you have a favourite line from the show? Do you have a quote that sticks out to you?
Oh my god, there's so many.
I need to stop putting you on the spot.
No, it's fine. Literally the first one that came to me was just the "Yes, I know who you are" line that. It's such a good meme.
My favourite quote is "Don't be lasagna."
Don't be lasagna.
It's quite a classic.
Yeah.
Actually, I think Capaldi says, Clara says, I'm his carer, and then he says, she cares, so I don't have to.
Yeah. That's yeah, that's right. Oh, I love that one. I say that a lot. I quote that one a lot.
but it is quite funny. But I just love the Harriet Jones. Like, I just love her character, and like the fact that, like you said, the Daleks. Even said it. It was just the cherry on top, and it is really sad that she dies. But it's a great line.
Did she?
She died. Like, if I think that it would be a bit like I'd hate that more than the like how people hated the Timeless Children, which by the way I love. Just want to say, but if Harriet Jones just comes in like I lived, I'd be like, all right.
She pulled an ace and she beat him up with a baseball bat.
Yeah, she had throwing knives. She just hit all three of them in the eye.
No, she went down like an absolute queen.
Yeah, she did.
Exactly. That's why I think she needs to stay dead, because otherwise her death.
I'm trying to think of any other lines.
I mean, I have a book. It's called The Wit and Wisdom of Doctor Who. I think it's at my uni accommodation, which I'm moving back to
I think I've got
next week. So, but yeah, it's filled with just quotes and funny.
Yeah, is that the wit, wisdom, and timey-wimey stuff?
Yes, yeah.
I'm looking at that right now. I can see it.
So.
It's on my show. But yeah, that is a recommend that to anyone who doesn't have it.
Wait, hang on. I think now
it's a great toilet read, that book.
Yeah.
Okay, so Evie, who is your top pick for the 14th Doctor? Of course, in regards to these rumours that Jodie is leaving at the end of the series.
Which is an absolute tragedy.
I know.
I cannot.
I don't want her to go.
No, like...
Alright, David.
Nice.
Obviously there's a whole tradition thing, but still, it makes me sad.
Yeah, it's always sad.
I'm trying to think. I personally, I wouldn't say, I saw loads of hype around, is it Richard Ayoade?
Richard Ayoade.
I don't know if he would fit the role, so I wasn't sure about him. But then I was thinking maybe, see, it's so predictable. But I just think Phoebe Waller-Bridge. But then I don't know.
I think she's far too big an actress for the BBC to be able to pay her enough to do it, and for B, I don't think she'd even want to do it. But she would be good. She would be good. She'd play a good role.
That's the thing. I haven't thought about it that much because it's just like I'll be happy with whoever is it, and I just haven't really thought about it because it's not up to me. So I haven't. Oh, that's so true. I don't know what her name is, but the woman who was in I May Destroy You.
Oh my gosh, she's my top pick too. Michaela Cole.
Her.
Yes, yeah. She's my top pick as well.
I cannot have a conversation with Toby without even mentioning Michaela Cole.
She's fantastic. Honestly, she's perfect material for Doctor Who. Especially the Doctor as well. Like, I'd love to see her as a companion. I just want to see her in the show, but most of all, I'd love to see her as the Doctor.
I think it needs to happen. Oh, I did, Michael Sheen was one that also came to mind.
I'd love to see him.
Just because I was such a fan of Good Omens, and I just think and then the BBC iPlayer staged series. I can't remember if I've seen anything. There must be other things that he's in, but those, like, from what I've seen of him, he would be, I think he'd be really good at it, but then again, is he, like, too big of an actor?
Nah, I think he'd do it.
Yeah, I think he would as well. He's that kind of
guy. I think he'd be down to do Doctor Who.
Especially since he's, like, best friends with David Tennant.
David Tennant, he would literally be like, yeah, they just asked me to do Doctor Who. David Tennant would be like, if you don't do that, I'll beat you up. I would watch that.
Who do you think it's actually going to be, though?
I reckon it's going to be another woman. And I also think it's going to be a black or Asian woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people are speculating Tania Miller. Actually was the general in Hellbent, but the woman version.
Oh.
I would be, like, completely fine with that. I'd love to see her. She was excellent in Years and Years, and she just was very engaging as well with, like, Doctor Who fans.
Well, wasn't there that leak thing where she said it's not her?
Well, there's that whole thing where she said she knows who the 14th Doctor is.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and she was like, yeah, and she was saying she used the pronoun she when referring to who the 14th Doctor was, and she went, oops, I mean, them, they...
Can't cover it up, too late.
Yeah, yeah, while she was on the live, but some people think she was just like joking, some people think... Yeah.
Or maybe she was third personing.
Evie, a noble girl, if you could travel anywhere in space, anywhere in time, where would you go and why?
No. Oh, God. So, it could be in the future or the past?
Yeah, imagine you were given the TARDIS.
Oh, this is so... The choice, I'm the most indecisive person, so that is, like, not a good question for me. The first thing that came to mind is I'd like to travel to the point in time where we've just dealt with climate change and, like, humanity is thriving,
sure.
And there's, like, world peace.
Okay, you're asking for quite a lot there. Okay.
I mean, what are your answers?
I mean, okay, the TARDIS can translate whatever, but, like, if you travel 1 million years into the future and meet a human, you probably won't even recognise. The physical form of a human would be there. You'd have 2 arms, 2 legs, and a nose, and some ears. But like the facial structure and the height and the build would be almost unrecognisable than modern day. And also the language would be entirely different.
So maybe that wouldn't be very productive of a choice. I wouldn't be able to talk to anyone.
You'd be walking around. In fact, you'd probably be put in a museum.
In a zoo.
In a zoo.
Like, old human. Really, really old human.
Oh, God. I'll try and think of a better one.
Because, like, well, I mean, to go back onto the biology of it all, as we go, hopefully, into, like, space and interstellar travel, humans will grow to be a lot taller because there's not gravity, so the bones will be able to elongate a lot more. So, basically, a spacefaring human civilization would come out the other end looking like Slenderman.
Wait, so if I went up into space for a bit, do you think I'd get taller?
Yes.
Yes, finally, I won't be 5'5" for my whole life.
Actually 5'5"?
I'm 5'5".
I'm 5'3", so I know what it's like. Not even 5'3", like 5'2".
There you go, Toby. You're taller than Evie.
I'd love to be taller. Let's go the moon or wherever it is. Let's gain some height.
Yeah. Let's go to the moon.
I think, to be honest, if I could just, like, even just going to a different planet, or just, like, going into space and seeing the Earth from that perspective would just be so extraordinary. And it would just, like, I feel like you would never think about life the same way. Like, when you
that's
get...
what I should not say.
Yeah. And then you just realise how insignificant you are.
Mm-hmm.
And just that feeling would probably just be so crazy. And it would probably... It's either really inspiring or depressing.
Okay.
But if you... Well, both, yeah. But I just think it would be so amazing. And then it would just help for when you go back to Earth, and then when you're, like, struggling, you can just think back to when you looked at Earth and was like, damn. Like, we're all on this planet struggling. Mm-hmm. God, that kind of, like, went a bit deep.
That went really deep. Okie dokie. So now it's time for trivia. So usually I would, if you haven't listened to the show before, Evie, I'd usually test Toby on his Doctor Who trivia. I thought this week we'd have a little bit of fun and pit you and Toby against each other to see who is the biggest fake fan. So I've asked you guys to find some buzzers. Evie, would you like to do yours first? Ring, ring. Beautiful.
So
Dalek saying ring, I love it. And Toby, what is going to be yours?
God, I feel so basic for this, but